Good morning, everyone. I think we'll go ahead and get started. We anticipate a full room, so we'll probably have folks sort of wandering in as we get going. So I'm Dani Fallin. I am the chair of the Department of Mental Health here in the Bloomberg School of Public Health at Johns Hopkins. And I have the privilege of helping to lead a department that houses the Moore Center for the Prevention of Child Sexual Abuse. And that has been indeed a great privilege, and this is my second year getting to start us all off, which is also really fun for me. And I have to say that the center, in addition to the role it plays in our department and our school, has a very special place in my heart in its approach. I am an autism epidemiologist, and so my work in the context of public health and autism has really focused, and our center's focus is on thinking about how to prevent autism or how to prevent the consequences of folks who are on the spectrum, as opposed to solely focusing on the treatment once someone has autism. And this idea of if you could stem the tide and prevent things from ever occurring, you really could make an impact that is quite meaningful. And that's not to diminish the importance of folks who really think about and push the treatment envelope as well. I think those are important goals simultaneously. But I'm happy to see folks that pay attention to this concept of prevention, and particularly in the setting in which the Moore Center has done this.
At the end of the day, I hope that you, like us, will leave with the sense that child sexual abuse is not inevitable, that it's a preventable public health problem. And toward that, I'm going to describe a little bit about some of the work you'll hear that the center is conducting to move us forward, to change the conversation from inevitability to prevention. You will hear speakers talk about our prevention research and some of our policy endeavors. With respect to prevention, Dr. Tamar Mendelson will describe our efforts to develop a parent-focused program to encourage the healthy sexual behavior of children starting at a young age. Dr. Cindy Schaefer will describe our efforts to develop a school-based prevention program aimed at all 12 and 13-year-old students and their parents. And I will describe a collaboration aimed at developing a prevention intervention for adolescents who are sexually attracted to young children. And I'm delighted that Luke Malone, a journalist who wrote about such adolescents for This American Life, joins us to present on his award-winning journalism and reporting, and also joins us to moderate a panel with a couple of very brave young men who are attracted to young children and committed to never acting on those attractions. With respect to our policy work, Dr. Andrew Harris will describe a project that we've designed to better understand the actual effects of juvenile sex crime policies. And Dr. Ryan Shields, my friend and colleague at the Moore Center, will describe a newly funded project in which we are examining the impact of state safe harbor policies that aim to shield juvenile victims from sex trafficking charges. We are, of course, mindful of the many effects that child sexual abuse has on victims and even on offenders. And Dr. Candice Firing will describe her work on the effects of child sexual abuse on children's compensatory behaviors. And our colleague and symposium co-host, Dr. Fred Berlin, will present a case report on an individual whose own victimization played a role in his later offending behaviors. Our symposium ends fittingly with comments from our center's founding donor, Dr. Stephen Moore, who will describe why he and his family are committed to the prevention of child sexual abuse. It is my hope that by the end of the day, you are convinced that child sexual abuse is an entirely preventable public health problem and that you will join us in our prevention efforts.